Hey, what is up YouTube? It is Matty. Welcome back to another Emphatic Clan Wars video. It's not this war that's currently on, but it is going not too bad. So we'll see that in a couple of videos time. But the war I'm going to recap now. Hold on. I know how some people prefer it when I switch back to English. So let me just do that now. Bum 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 bum. Anyway, going in to have a quick look. I think it's the war versus Saigon Happy. Now we've got those two losses out of the way. I'm hopeful we can smash in some more wins. But yeah, this one was pretty easy. We did pretty bad actually. We failed on the number 1 guy. We failed to 3-star the number 2 guy, and we failed to 3-star the number 4 and the number 10. So pretty poor war all round really. Well, not all round. I mean, there's a lot of 3-stars happened, but I suppose because they didn't really try, we sort of knew we had. I don't think people tried as hard in general. Maybe, or maybe not. But there's a couple of raids I want to dissect and go through with you. So I've watched these through, and firstly, this is a Town Hall 10 with no Inferno, so treat it as a Town Hall 9, because for all intents and purposes, it is a Town Hall 9. Now, what Van does, which I think is really good, is just trying to remember. Okay, so a lot of the air defences are exposed, so you pretty much could hog 3 out of 4 of those air defences. But what Van does, and maybe he would be better explaining it than me, but he takes down this air defence here, which I think is the highest level one. So he takes it down with about 5 hogs, I believe. That pulls up the CC law as well. So he'll pull the CC to the right, I think, and then he sort of uses a kill squad. Oh, I can't remember how he does it. Tell you what we'll do, we'll watch it live and see what Van does. So, a group of about 5 or 6 hogs onto the air defence, pulls out the CC. There is the full CC law, and let's see where he pulls it now. Sorry, yeah, he pulls it straight down to the bottom. So what he's going to do is a loon drop. You can see he's got enough loons. He's just going to get the wizzies and the archers close together. Because there's no barbs and no witches and stuff, it's quite an easy CC pull. So he's used a second loon here. The second loon really was to distract, because the barb just finished all the wizzies off, and then a single minion to finish the loon off. Now over here, what Van does, which is really clever, is he waits for the queen to jump over the wall. Oh no, sorry, he does pull the queen out. So he drops the king, which pulls the queen out. He rages the king, kills the queen pretty quickly, takes a single air I'm going to pause here. Does a 1 trade loon onto the arch tower, which is great. Then drops a couple of loons down the bottom side here. Now he has dropped, which I had missed, a golem and the queen at the top here. That was to take down that air defence, because now he's already started dropping the loons, and I believe he's going to go in with a hound. Now what he's done, drops the loon first because they have a bit of travel time, and at this point the hound is started to travel across towards the air defence. So what he's hoping that's going to do is pick up any traps that are on the way, capture all those defences to start shooting them and not the loons, and put a rage spot down to speed up the loons into it as well. So if we watch back the raid here, the queen, unfortunately she's not taking down the air defence. However, the archers that are spawned, they are going to start shooting it in a minute. And the king here, he's finished taking down the queen, and he's just doing his thing. So moving on a few more minutes, see how the Teslas were pulled out by the hound, and then he's dropped a second hound in over here, and his loons as well. So he's sort of pulled both hounds out, and got the loons coming in behind. Now I think that's it. You can see another loons over here to take down that arch tower. Just going to continue watching now. Some more loons at the top side, so he's making sure all the arch towers get covered in loons. The only one he hasn't done is the left side yet, which I'm sure he might do in a bit. And the hound has now moved over the top of the final air defence, and the loons are starting to push up and head towards it slowly but surely. With the rage spell over there, they will get there. He does want the hound to pop, of course, so that the pups come out and help clean up. So he's hoping well, you always hope that you time it perfectly, really, so the last defense kills the hounds. But at this point, I mean, the raids get pretty much over. The sheer quantity of loons that are left there, it's just gone very, very well for him. And yeah, the hound's rushing on ahead. Hopefully it's going to pop, but I don't think it's going to. The arch tower's shooting the... oh no, there you go, look, perfect. So I mean, you couldn't plan that better, to be honest. Queen did survive, and she came down to take down the town hall, which was great for her. And then he's actually dropping loons down to to clean up, believe it or not. So great raid by Van. That's why I wanted to show this one. I'm not going to show all the videos like normal, but what I am going to do is pick apart the raids a little bit and try and understand and explain how and why he did it, or whoever does the raids, just so it gets trying to give you a bit of deeper understanding, to be honest. Now, 5 and 6 have already been covered as part of my live series, so I will show you Leonard's raid. Now let's scout the base first and have a look. Let's see if I can remember what he does. So Leonard does a Lavaloon on this one. Now I'm not experienced enough to be able to tell you why he thought Lavaloon would work well on this base. So, but there is a hole down here. Obviously you can see it when you scout the base between the arch tower and the gold storage. And what that will do is mean he's got an easy CC pull. So let's have a little watch how the raid starts. So you can see he drops a minion in there straight away to pull out the little skellies, pulls out all the traps, drops another single loon, gets those traps, and then the final loon to actually take the Tesla down. He's got this full CC lure as well. So pulls the CC up top with the anchor. Once the CC are down, it should be pretty straightforward from there. You can see by his army comp, it's 2 hounds, 26 loons. I believe there's a hound in the CC as well, so we're going to see on that one. Just going for the mass rush in, I think. The minions and everything's gone up top. Sorry. Oh no, CC loons. So it's quite a loon heavy army, really. You can see how he's placing them. Just make sure all the loons go down, then dropping the rages in when the balloons get close to the air defense. Air defences go down quite quickly. I think it made sense to loon it because the air defences were accessible pretty quickly. Obviously the only issue you got now is the final air defence, but with the hounds going to sit on top of it, then that's a good thing, really. And by the time that second hound gets is starting to get hurt, the loons are pretty much right on top of the air defence anyway. So very nicely deployed raid. He's dropped his king and queen down at the bottom. Probably didn't even need them, to be honest, as part of this. The raid was... is he going to miss the queen ability? Oh no, he caught it. Fair play. Yeah, I do enjoy watching these Lavaloon videos because it's just a strategy I haven't used that much myself. So clearly, because the air defences were relatively low, the base was quite easy, and they were all sort of near each other, and the hounds were able to do all that tanking. It just meant overloading the base with loons was pretty easy. Anyway, the queen is still alive though. That is, I suppose, the only risk. But because she was only level 5, she wasn't able to do much damage at all. And there is an enemy loon as well. So I'm just going to speed through the rest of the raid now. So yeah, if this was slightly tougher, if that queen was slightly higher, maybe this raid would have been a more difficult 3-star. So it is kind of forced. You can see there's not many troops left, and there is their enemy loon did sort of survive. So not the best Lavaloon raid I've seen, but it worked, obviously. The final raid I'm going to show this episode is Runner, and this base he did. So yes, it's a hog attack. Now you can see by the base, the Teslas, all 4 were in the core there, and the giant bombs were sort of there weren't any doubles, I don't think. I think there was there might be one by that arch tower. Ooh, it's tired. Wow, there might have been another one at the top there. So we'll see how it goes. But the strategy for doing the hog attack is to get the CC lure. Now the CC lure is very easy on this base. You can shoot a single giant, I think he uses, to get the full CC pull. So that's very cheap in terms of troop unit, troop spacing to get the full CC lure. Once he's got the lure, you can anchor it to the right over here and then push in towards the queen. So he's got the golem, the witches, his king, his queen, king. They're going to be the main kill squad. They're going to make sure that the queen, they're going to push towards the queen, so he's going to need to use a couple of wizards to anchor, taking down like that gold mine there, or the drill, and then up top the gold mine there, just to make sure that his kill squad goes towards the queen and they don't sort of spread around. So let's get to that stage and then we'll review. So single giant goes down. He gets a skelly trap as well, which is an absolute bonus. Full CC pull, great. I mean, these CCs weren't fully full, I don't think. I mean, this is how much they weren't trying the enemy. So if that was the case, 2 giants would have got the full CC pull. Anyway, you can see archer down. He doesn't wait for the troops to go and kill the archer. He drops the witches straight down after, and that means the skellies are already there, so they're going to be sort of ready. The queen's there as well. So the idea being that he's already engaged the CC, and already everything's gone down except the loon. Now you can see, point to note, Wizzy's down the bottom here to funnel. Perfect. And the funneling, the natural funneling is they're going to go inwards if he can break in. So he's dropped the golem down now. Couple of wall breakers going all the way through. Boom. They'd not even needed, actually. The wall breakers have gone through. But they do trigger that giant bomb, which was absolutely fantastic. I think if they didn't do it, the golem would have. So one giant bomb's out the way. And be interesting to see now if there actually was a double giant bomb. No, there wasn't, you can see. So I'm going to pause now, because the objective's been met. The queen's down. His king and queen have got on pretty good health. The golem's going in there. So you got a lot of defences distracted, and he's decided to throw in all his hogs in one sort of group down towards the defences towards the core. They're going to naturally sort of path onto the mortar, then the wizard tower, then the Tesla. You can already see one is parked coming up here. So some might path towards the core, some might path towards the expo, but they're going to just start melting through the base. And because he's got 4 heal spells, again, all helps keeping those hogs alive. So you can see how they're sort of splitting off now. He's going to need a group to keep it on the Teslas, but the way he placed that then, hold on, he sort of placed the heal spell, so it covered part of the core and the wizard tower and the mortar down the bottom there. And he's got another group of hogs going up the top side, which he's going to need to give a heal to at some stage as well. I think he's focusing more on the core pack, to be honest, in that top pack, which is actually not a bad shout, because they've all moved down towards it, and all the hogs are sort of pathing together eventually and taking down all those cannons. And I think that's it. There you go. They all finish perfectly on the king, which is great. And the king's down. So at this point he's got a lot of cleanup troops left. I mean, this is a really easy cleanup. So this raid he probably had about a minute left, maybe a little bit less than that. But the sheer amount of hogs there, that's crazy. So the raid completely worked, very well executed, very well delivered. It's nice to see a mass hog of this sort of magnitude. See, you get the giant bomb placements, and they're just not right for the this guy who made this base was just bad at base design, or he just copied a bad base thinking it was good. So yeah, it goes to show you when you plan a raid, when you take the steps properly and carefully, and you don't forget to funnel and all these things, and you get everything into where you need it to be, and you place the hogs correctly and they path correctly, you can just melt through bases quite easily. Now this was an easy war, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to brag about how we demolished them or anything like that, but it was, I suppose, that the more you see these sort of videos, the more you're going to pick up little bits and bobs and apply them to your own raids, and it all comes down to careful planning at the end of the day. You don't just go into a raid and 3-star it. You have to think of all the eventualities that can happen, and probably, yeah, I mean, it might take me an hour to plan a raid, all seriousness. So anyway, hope you enjoyed watching some of the raids this episode. As I said, not a great war by any stretch. The average destruction was okay-ish. Yeah, quite a few fails, but yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this video anyway, and yeah, peace out. I'll see you on the next one.